Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 25th July 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see our first topic. So our first topic is COVID highlights climate crisis. So actually yesterday our President COVID, he had his farewell address. So in this address he mainly focused on this climate crisis. So this article will be important from your polity point of view, which mainly comes under your GS paper 2. So here you have to refer some articles which are related to President that you can get from your Lakshmikant. So please open your President chapter and try to go through that chapter once. So this will be very important this year in the mains. So now let us try to see context. So our President, so that is ex-President Ramnath Kovind, in his farewell address to nation, so he urged youth to be mindful of their roots in villages and towns, and also he made a strong appeal to countrymen and to take care of environment. So here our ex-president, so now our new president is Draupadi Murmu, right? So here Ramnath Kovind, he mainly focused on this climate crisis. He urged youth to take some mindful for their roots and in villages and towns, and he said that we need to protect our environment, and he also made a strong appeal for the countrymen to take care of environment. So why? Because our mother nature, our planet is in deep agony now. So because of climate crisis, and if this climate crisis which mainly continues means, yes, it will be having a huge negative impact on our future, right? So because of this he mainly focused that we need to take some steps regarding this climate crisis. So actually this Kovind, he is India's 14th president and he completes his tenure or term on Sunday, and his successor, that is Draupadi Murmu, will be sworn today. So now let us try to see which article of our Indian Constitution talks about oath of president. So Article 60 of Indian Constitution talks about oath or affirmation by the president. So what is the difference between this oath and affirmation? So the person who believes in God, okay, so they will be taking oath, and affirmation it is taken by atheists who do not believe in God. So if you're talking about Article 60 talks about oath and affirmation. So every president and every person who is acting as a president and discharging the functions of the president, and they need to take oath, okay, before entering upon his office, and he or she should subscribe in the presence of Chief Justice of India, CJI. If CJI is absent, so they need to take oath before the senior judge of Supreme Court. So this is about oath and you have to remember this. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding India's investment-led revival. So this article is important from your GS paper 3 under economy. So now let us try to talk about this topic in detail, and I will try my level best to make you understand this topic. So first of all, let us try to see why it is in news. So what is the context? So our Union Finance Minister, that is Nirmala Sitharaman, she said that recently India's long-term growth prospects, they are amended in public capital expenditure programs. So if you want to see the future growth, in India, yes, we need to focus on investment, and this investment that need to create public capital expenditure. So we need to create some capital. So capital means, for example, we can talk about infrastructure. So in this infrastructure you can talk about roads, you can talk about railways, you can talk about hospitals, you can talk about schools. So all these will be included in our infrastructure projects. So yes, if we want to get the future growth, yes, we need to invest in this capital expenditure and we need to focus on public capital expenditure. And she also said that whenever there is increase in this public investment, that will leads to revival of our economy. So not only the public investment, and even when we are pulling this private investment into the economy, yes, that will lead to revival of our economy. So this is the thing which mainly said by our Union Finance Minister. And if you are talking about what is the meaning of investment, so investment is nothing but this asset or any item acquired with a goal of generating income. So if I am investing rupees 10 to get more income like rupees 15, so that is also called as investment, right? So investment, it is like any asset or any item which mainly acquired with a goal of getting or generating income, and we need to increase its value. Okay, so that is called as investment. So actually growth of any country which is mainly fueled by investment. So if you are investing in the school, for example building a school, for example coming up with some proper infrastructure in schools like benches, like computers, etc., and because of this school building and proper infrastructure, proper toilets, proper water facility, so here the students, they will come and they will join the school. So after certain years, okay, after they completing their schooling, yes, they will be becoming literates and they will be entering into the workforce. So education is one important area where we can get maximum returns, right? So whenever there is increasing of private investment, so whatever in the response to existing markets or emerging opportunities, so we can create jobs. So whenever there is private investment, that is crowding, so that will leads to increasing of employment opportunities, and that will helpful in increasing of income, and that will provide some livelihood for the people, that will improve the standard of living of people. So whenever the people are getting income, that will leads to increasing of demand of goods and services, right? So because of this increase in the demand of goods and services, so this manufacturing unit, that will increase its manufacturing, right? So in this way here further it will attract the private investment, and that will leads to further increasing of production, and again demand of the people will be increasing, more jobs. So this is a cycle. Okay, so this is about importance of investment. And now let us try to see what is investment. So how it is acting as an economic growth. So investment as economic factor in economic growth. So how this investment will be helpful in economic growth. So you have to know that as an UPSC aspirant. So investment, as you all know, it is a key driver of economic growth. So whenever there is investment, it will lead to accumulation of social capital. For example, if you are talking about public capital expenditure, so in this capex, we can go for creating of roads, creating of proper railways, and creating of hospitals, creation of education institutions like schools, etc. And we can also focus on health. So in this way, that will lead to accumulation of social capital in the country. And whenever there is any investment, that will going to generate some additional revenue. So which is mainly determined by the state of the economic activity. So this is the first important thing. And next one is, whenever we are undergoing in this business cycle, sometimes we can see fluctuations. So fluctuations in output, so that will have some impact on the investment. So if you are getting the more output or more returns, yes, there will be more investment. If you are getting the less output, then there will be less investment. So our country, which is mainly facing this condition of less investment, so there is outgoing of FPI from India, so that is leading to decreasing of value, or we can say depreciation of Indian rupee. So this is about this second topic. And next one here is the fact that investment results in the accumulation of public capital. So when we are going for implementation of scientific and technological achievements, that determines the important role in the economic development. So whenever we can see investment in our economy, yes, we can also see there will be upgradation of our science and technology. So that will also lead to further growth of the country. And next one here is, we need to focus on increasing of country's manufacturing feasibility. So in that way, whenever there is increasing of manufacturing capacity, yes, that will automatically leads to growth of economy. And the process of expanded reprocessing is determined by investments. So process of investing or real capital formation is required for construction of new facilities. So we need to go for construction of new facilities, and we need to go for erection of houses, and we can go for laying of roads, and that will lead to the generation of employment. So whenever there is increasing of employment opportunities, means they will be getting salary or wages, and they will go to market and they will place demand for goods and services. And manufacturing units, they will be go for increasing of their manufacturing capacity, and further it will lead to increasing the employment opportunities. So it is a cycle. And now let us try to see what are the measures taken to ensure economic growth. So here there is some irregularity. It is one of the important feature of investments. Sometimes we can attract more investment and sometimes we can't. So there is a lot of irregularity. There is nothing like a stability that is seen in the feature of investment. So investments, it is a specific sector of economy that cannot be expected in near future. So here we need to take some corrective actions or else we can not be in a right way. So first one here is technical and as well as advancements that we can see in technology. It is a one sector. So when we are upgrading our technology and technical thing, yes, we can attract rapid and intense investment. For example, if there is technological progress in automobile sector, so that will lead to increasing of investment in this petrochemical industry. And next one here is, so people who are savings, okay, whose savings must be properly invested in order to create a large number of honest and risk-taking entrepreneurs, then we can get or we can create some capital goods in various productive sectors. For example, like agriculture, industry, trade, public works, etc. So even people's saving is also very important to attract investment. And capital formation, that will boost investment. For example, that will raises the per capita income of people. That will also raises the purchasing power of people. And investment, that will also leads to capital formation. So we are going to create assets in the country and economic activities as well. Okay, so in this way it will be helpful for abolition of poverty, hunger, and finally we can attain this economic development in the country. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us try to say next topic. It is regarding 12th Ministerial Conference of World Trade Organization, WTO. So this article is also important from your economy point of view, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. And this topic is exclusively important from your mains. So especially students who are going to write this year mains, so they have to focus on this topic. So if you see how to write, what is the issue regarding this 12th Ministerial Conference. So here we need to know about when did held and what are the key areas of discussion and what are the concerns of India. Okay, so these are some important dimensions that we need to know. So recently 12th Ministerial Conference of WTO, that is World Trade Organization, concluded. So some key areas they discussed in this WTO conference here is like they discussed about pandemic, they discussed about fisheries, subsidies, and as well as public stock holding, food security, WTO reforms, moratorium, custom duties on electronic transmission. So these are some important key areas of discussion in this 12th Ministerial Conference. So if you're talking about some details, the first one here is we need to talk about WTO reform. So members, they reaffirmed the foundational principles of WTO and they committed to open and inclusive processes, and they also talked about reform in all functions from deliberation to negotiation to monitoring. So actually in this 12th Ministerial Conference, here the members, they focus that we need reforms in this WTO. Especially we need proper dispute settlement mechanism. Okay, so and that dispute settlement mechanism should be accessible by all the members by 2024. So this is one important area. And next one here is they also agreed on curtailing, that is to decrease the harmful fishing subsidies. So especially here countries they talked about, so they need to reduce harmful subsidies. They are mainly used by the fishermen for illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing. Okay, so they have to reduce this. Since 2001 onwards, member states, they have been negotiating the banning of the subsidies and to promote and that mainly promoting this overfishing. But now they came up with some consensus. And next one here is agreement on global food security. As you all know that United Nations World Food Program, so it mainly said that so there is increasing of food insecurity, and because of this here members of this WTO, they came together and they came up with a decision to exempt food purchased by United Nations World Food Program for humanitarian purposes, and they want to restrict this exports as well. So actually what happened, whenever there is an export which is mainly banned or whenever country which are coming up with the restrictions of exports, so especially country who depend upon the imports on this food grains, so what is the condition of those countries? So they will face extreme food insecurity. So here, because of this, members of this WTO, they came up with a binding decision, and they made a talk about food purchased by United Nations World Food Program, and that can be used for humanitarian purposes from any export restrictions. So there should be no export restrictions for this United Nations World Food Program whenever it is going for purchasing of this food grains. And next one is, they also talk about global food shortages and rising of the prices. So because of this Russia-Ukraine conflict also, so there is stall of this wheat exports, and also there is a food shortage that is mainly faced by a number of countries, especially European countries, and there is also increasing of price of this wheat. And next one here is, countries, they would be allowed to restrict food supplies and they can ensure their domestic food security needs as well. So these are some important things which discussed under this global food security. And next one here is agreement on COVID-19 vaccine production. So WTO members, they agreed to temporarily waive intellectual consent, intellectual consent of patent holder for 5 years. Especially regarding this COVID-19 vaccine, they said that here companies can manufacture, or pharmaceutical companies, they can manufacture this vaccine, so that will be helpful for the countries for the easy and accessible vaccines for all. And what are the issues raised by India? So first one is regarding WTO reforms. So India, which mainly believed that WTO reforms discussions, they need to focus on especially strengthening of its foundational principles. Yes, we need to focus on strengthening of these foundational principles. And India also takes the initiatives to suggest reforms for developing countries. So it is also focused on developing countries. And here we also focused on e-commerce transactions. So India also asked WTO to review extension of moratorium on custom duties on e-commerce transactions as well. And regarding this food security, the WTO should renegotiate with the subsidy rules for government backed food purchasing programs, and those programs are mainly aimed at feeding poor citizens in developing countries and as well as in poor countries. So India also want to provide some assurance that its public stock holding program, which buys exclusively from the nation's farmers that has exported in the past, that cannot be challenged at this WTO, and whenever there is challenging, so it is illegal. So these are some important things which are mainly put forth by India before WTO. So this is in detail regarding this topic. So actually in Rathod's IAS Academy, so we came up with this means answer writing practice course, and this course, it is for 1 year. So yesterday we conducted a webinar on that course. So here we are providing the offer price of 7,200 rupees, and this is valuable for only today. So try to join this course, and this course is exclusively beneficial, and the schedule of this course is given in the description box, and you can download the schedule, and you can join this course. So there will be the weekly targets, and daily one question will be given in our website, and you have to write the answer. So there will be evaluation, and we also provide you one-to-one mentorship and model answer, and we will be giving you detailed feedback. So apart from that, so we came up with live webinars on this course. So on every Sunday you will be having live webinars, and you can directly interact with us, and we will be discussing the questions in detail, and we will be discussing how many ways you can write introduction, so what are the points that you have to include in the body along with the presentation. Like we will be sharing you mind maps, we will be giving you some flow charts, diagrams, graphs, etc. That will be exclusively beneficial. So try to join this course. That will be highly beneficial for the students. So you are going to pay just 7,200 for 1 year. So invest here, so that will be getting the faster returns and faster results. So details of this course is given in description box. And if you want to join this course, so you can visit our website rathodsiasacademy.com. There you can click on the course list, and you can see this daily means answer writing practice at last, and you can click on that and you can do the payment. So today is the last day to avail this 7,200 offer. So from tomorrow onwards the price will be 8,200. So now let's come back and let us try to see next topic. Title says why euro has fallen to $1. So what it means for the rupee. So this topic is also important from your economy point of view. which mainly comes in your GS paper 3. So here now $1 is equal to 1 euro. So this is symbol euro. So here actually the value of euro which is more than this US dollar, but now it mainly fall into dollar, okay, equal to dollar. So now let us try to understand what are the reasons. So now let us try to see why it is in news. So recently euro achieved parity, that means equal value with US dollar. So in other words, the terms of exchange rate, so 1 euro is equal to 1 US dollar now. So actually euro, it is a currency and monetary unit of this European Union. So currency of this European Union is this euro. And let me know how many countries are part of this European Union at present. So let me know this thing in the comment box, don't forget about this. And actually the symbol here is this is the symbol of this euro. And actually it adopted as official currency by 19 member nations of European Union. And now let us try to see some details. So recently the euro and US dollars, they reached parity. So $1 is equal to now 1 euro. So since the beginning of the year, here euro has lost about 12%. So like how Indian rupee depreciation that is mainly seen. So the same way here the value of this euro had been decreased by 12% against the dollar. And it is also expected to lose more value going forward. So the latest blow to the exchange rate has come from this energy crisis. So because of this energy crisis due to this Russia-Ukraine war, that led to the decreasing of value of this euro. So if you see this graph, you can understand. So it is like 1.5, $1 is equal to, okay, 1.5, okay, $1.5 is equal to 1 euro. But now it decreased to 1.004. Okay, so earlier it is not only first time during this 2002, so there was decreasing of this value. So this is the second time. So the first time here in 2002 and second time now you are seeing there is a decreasing the value of euro against dollar. So what are the reasons behind this euro losing its value against dollar? So first one is there is a weakness that is seen in this eurozone economy. So due to this COVID-19 pandemic, so fiscal response to counter which had left this eurozone a weak economy. So almost all the countries, they had been affected by this COVID-19. So in the same way this eurozone also affected, and that led to decreasing of value of this euro. And actually Germany, it is one of the biggest eurozone economy, so which made register the first trade deficit. Okay, so even though Germany is one of the biggest trade eurozone economy, so it also reported trade deficit since 1991. And now you can understand how COVID-19 impact almost all the countries. So in this moment of weakness, here Russia war on Ukraine and consequent ban on this Russia's energy, so that even made this eurozone more vulnerable. And Europe was completely dependent on this Russian oil and as well as Russian gas for its energy. And because of this ban, what happened, it is also facing energy insecurity. And if you see in international markets, there is increasing of value for the energy, and that led to the cost of living crisis for the common people. And there are a number of questions that raised in the mind of investor, that so they can leave this eurozone and they can invest in other areas where they can get more amount of profits. So many companies, they are now planning to shift their base to US, okay, which is far more independent in the terms of energy. Okay, so because of this the value of euro has been decreased. And next one here is Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So the value of euro has also been affected because of uncertainty in the energy supplies in the wake of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. So Europe now has to shell out more euros to import limited energy supplies. So those have been adversely affected the euro value as well. So this is about Russia's invasion on Ukraine. So what is the impact? So now let us try to see what is the impact on rupee. So as you all know that, especially many experts, they believe that if euro continues to stay weak, okay, then what happened, the value of this rupee will also be decreased. Why? Because euro, if euro, that is the currency of eurozone, so it is continuously weakening, means the rupee which is becoming the weaker against this dollar, which will further weakens. So this is because euro, which is having the because we are having good linkages with this euro in India and as well as similar emerging economies, we are having good trade. So because of this, we will be also having some impact on the value of rupee against dollar. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding flag code of India. Tricolor can now stay hoisted day and night. So here we have to focus on what is this flag code. So this article is important from your governance point of view. So context says the government has amended flag code of India, and now this flag code of India which going to allow tricolor to be displayed in open and on individual houses or buildings through day and night. So now we can hoist this flag day and night according to this new flag code. So if you see details, it mainly says that the provision earlier which mainly allowed the flag that can be displayed in the open to be flown just from sunrise and between sunset. Between sunrise and sunset only we can go for hoisting of flag and we can display the flag. But now the member of public and private organizations or even education institutions like schools, colleges, universities, they mainly allowed to hoist the flag on all days and all occasions, ceremonies and etc. here. Okay, so this is the move which mainly come ahead of 75th anniversary of our India's independence. So now let us try to see some more details. So the flag code of India was earlier amended in 2021 in December, and we allowed to use polyester apart from cotton, wool, silk, khadi for making hand spun and as well as hand woven and machine made flags. So if you see the Prime Minister, he also mainly called up for this Har Ghar Tiranga movement. So between this August 13th and 15th, so each and every homes they have to display this tricolor flag. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding Sri Sarbananda Sonowal inaugurates vaccination center for children and launches Bal Raksha mobile app at all Institute of Ayurveda. So this article is important from your governance and even health point of view, which mainly comes under your GS paper too. So now let us try to see the title. Okay, title I already discussed, and now let us try to see why it is a news. So Union Minister of Ayush inaugurated vaccination center for children, and this vaccination center which made inaugurated at All India Institute of Ayurveda. So if you see details, it mainly says that he also launched this Bal Raksha mobile app, and this app which mainly aimed at creating awareness of pediatric preventive health care through Ayurveda intervention among parents. Okay, so he also launched this Bal Raksha mobile app, and that led to creating awareness of pediatric and preventive health care. And this app will also collect the feedback from the parents, okay, regarding what is the impact of the kit on their child's health and immunity. So whether they are recovering fast or whether they are getting frequent infections or not. And All India Institute of Ayurveda, it is one of the important autonomous organizations, and it mainly works under this Ministry of Ayush. So actually the important aim of this AIIA, it is to bring synergy between traditional wisdom of Ayurveda, and we need to connect with the modern tools and technologies regarding this medicine. So this is about this topic, and these are some important current affairs that appear in the today's newspaper. And now let us have a look over the today's Hindu PDF also. So this is our today's Hindu PDF, and the date here is 25th July, and this is Delhi edition. So first topic, it is very important from art sports. So that is Olympic gold medalist, that is Neeraj Chopra. He competing in the man's javelin throw, and finally he got silver medal in World's Athletics Champions. So you can get this question if you are attending any state public service examination, so please be prepared. And this one here, it is about high alert as Delhi reports monkeypox. So actually now in India, in Kerala, there were 2 cases reported, and now again in Delhi also 1 case reported. So we need to take extreme care regarding this monkeypox virus infection. So Delhi confirmed its first case of monkeypox on Sunday, a day after infection was declared as public health emergency of international concerned by our World Health Organization. Okay, actually this person, he isolated and he has some symptoms of this monkeypox virus. Okay, and this is about this topic, and you have to refer some static syllabus or facts regarding this monkeypox virus for sure. And next topic is about COVID highlights climate crisis. I discussed this topic, and this is the first article of discussion. And if you move here, so here you can see wind power rates may bottom out. So this article is important. So recently Ministry of New and Renewable Energy said that it would be doing away with the practice of reverse auctions. So when companies they bid to offer the lowest price while awarding the contracts for setting up of wind energy projects. So wind industry experts says that this alone will not necessarily improving the sector's fortunes. So actually if you're talking about India's aim regarding this wind energy, so India committed to install about 60,000 megawatts of wind power projects, and target year is 2022. But just we met only 2/3 of this target, not all the target. So this is about this topic. And if you move forward, there is nothing much in this city page. And here in this page number C, you can see monkeypox. CM says city's best team on the case to check the spread. So we need to focus on the spreading of this monkeypox virus to stop to become a pandemic. And if you move forward in the states page also, there is nothing much important. And directly you can move on to this editorial page. I discussed about this India's investment led growth. And this one I discussed about this ministerial conference of WTO. And there is one article I want to give you this as a homework, that is regarding Supreme Court's recent observations on indiscriminate arrest. So already I discussed about this Satyendra Kumar Antil versus CBI case. So you have to just revise the topic itself. It is not a new topic for us. And if you move forward in this text and context, there is an article regarding this monkeypox outbreak. So now let us try to see some gist of this article. So ever since the first case of monkeypox in humans identified in 1970, so at that time DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, so the virus had become the endemic in the parts of the Central and as well as West Africa. So because of this, we need to be very careful because we identified case in Delhi and as well as in Kerala. So the designation of this monkeypox as public health emergency of international concern, which mainly decided by WHO yesterday itself. Yesterday current affairs we discussed about this topic, and we need to take some efforts to contain, that is to prevent the spread of this disease before it escalates into this pandemic, because it can be easily transmitted from one person to another person. So this would mean promoting countries to devise efforts to control transmission, and we need to come up with coordinate sharing of resources as well. So there are no specific treatment which is available for this monkeypox. So clinical management of this monkeypox include revealing from the signs and symptoms and managing the complications and preventing long-term efforts. So this is about this topic. And now let us move forward and let us see another topic in this text and context, that is about Indian sports bodies under scandal and scrutiny. So it is about FIFA. Okay, so this is not much important. So if you write in DAF like my hobbies or watching cricket, playing cricket, then you can get this type of questions in your interview. Okay, and next one here, it is about 5G deployment. So you have to know about what is this 5G and what are the challenges that we are facing in this 5G deployment. So you have to know these two topics, and this is the homework for you students. And if you move on to this page number 10, you can see here one article, that is Jammu and Kashmir will always be integral part of India. So here Rajnath Singh, he says that dilution of Article 370 which brought a hope to aspirations of people. So here our defense minister, he said that so always Jammu and Kashmir will be the integral part of India, and Pak occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan region, they were illegally occupied by the Pakistan. And while describing the Article 370 as an artificial barrier, that stands removed. So because of this here, these are some statements are given by this defense minister, and you have to think about this topic once. And if you see in this page number 11, you have one article that is regarding Draupadi Murmu to take oath as India's 15th president today. So Article 60 of Indian Constitution, which talks about the president's oath. And if you move forward, here you can see article that is 5G spectrum auction from tomorrow. So you have to see what is this 5G and you have to see about this auction. Okay, so this article is also very important. And this one here is study on snow leopards and its prey. So here you have to focus on what is the snow leopards, where are they located and what are those protection status. So that is very important. So recent study by the Zoological Survey of India, which mainly said that snow leopard has thrown up interesting insights on elusive mountain cat and its prey species. So this study which mainly studied about this study which mainly conducted in the Himalayas, and this Himalayan studies revealed that yes, there is a link between habitat used by the snow leopards and its prey species, that is Siberian ibex and as well as blue sheep. Okay, so you have to know about the protection status of the snow leopard. And if you move forward in this world page, here you can see volcano erupts in Japan. Okay, so here the volcano name is Sakurijima volcano in Kagoshima. So the blast of this volcano happened and lava which mainly erupted, and the red hot rocks and the dark blooms that mainly seen in the television footages. Okay, and actually there is no harm which mainly caused by this volcano. And if you move forward, here you can see China launches second space station module, and this topic is also very important. And these are some articles that appear in the today's Hindu. So what are the homework I gave? So please try to do that homework and please let me know the answers for the question in the comment box for sure. So by this I am concluding. So one request from my side is, so try to share this video in the Telegram groups or WhatsApp groups so that it will be highly beneficial, right? So by this I am concluding, and if you have not subscribed to Rathod's IAS and if you are new to this Rathod's IAS, so try to subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon so that you will be getting regular notification whenever we are uploading the video. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much.